So, now request our next speaker for this session, Shri R.K. Anand, BFSI Academics and Advisor, to please present his perspective.
Good afternoon, friends. I hope I am audible to all of you. Fine. Only the side is changed. The subject is not changed. Only directional this is change, but the topic will remain the same. And I feel very happy here on being having an invite to be under the umbrella of ICMAI. I'm thankful to my associate, normally Dr. S. Gupta, who has associated me with this, and see a lot to happen through this conference, not as a well-wisher, but as an experienced person who has seen these conferences happening on the banking and finance in many parts of the country and abroad, and many action points emerge out of these conferences, which policymakers and regulators have to have on their agenda. Otherwise, the routine things keep going. As my friend from the banking was asking for the very first discussion paper. So here I am very much hopeful and looking forward that ICMAI, if rakes up the points to the policymakers, I think they will be heard. And I'll try to be humbly making some attempt in this direction. My job is easy, that I need not talk of climate risk, climate change, the impact thereof, and the green investment, green funds, etc. Some do. So, what I'll do to best utilize this 10 minutes with you, I'll be going into the, say, a path which we together can pave now, of which I see a blueprint, a blurred road path, but we can cement it, concretize together looking at the concepts. So many W's are there: why, when, how, challenges, progress, and impacts of this ESG-led sustainable banking. What I wish is that I adopt, and I am working under a model which is looking at integration. Nothing new. I am not going to reinvent the wheel. I am looking at integrating the inputs of climate risk, data and information with the existing financial network and build a new integration which addresses the business, a climate risk along with the other risks. So here we go, that these things will always remain our mind, that UN set long back the this sustainable development goals. 5 P's have been asked to us while doing any financing. We care for people, planet, prosperity, peace and partnership. And of course, we have not proved ourselves to be successful in caring for these 5 P. The issue is here now, very red and bright. Going forward, lot of regulations my previous speakers have brought. I've just put a mention of that, that now the regulations are also in place. With experience of more than 3 decades in the financing and investment field, I share experience with you that the players on the market, they normally keep waiting for the regulations. Many rare organizations have the proactive role of setting their own best practices to be the proactive leaders. Most of them are laggards. They keep waiting regulation. So now one discussion paper of RBI coming and everybody feeling joyous. Now who was stopping them before them? They were free. Boards were free to think. Boards were paid to think of this. What I need now, a recommendation from ICMAI to Government of India, to RBI, to IBI, to SEBI, that we need a CMA in the board. Now, this word may get boiled down to a normal CMA word, often we use, but I mean cost and management accountant. The matter of climate risk is costing. What is costing the financial world? I ask a bank, I go to the board, sir, if I see your balance sheet, the environment around might have impacted many items of your assets. By the now, do you know? So far, that step of saying yes is not there. Now, here is a situation for the ICMAI that ICMAI is a doctor. And in the field of medicine, there are many patients, including me, those who have not got exposed to and went for a health check. The blood pressure, diabetes keep running in the body. And the person says, till yesterday he was fine and today he is gone. Then the doctor says, had you got him checked earlier? No. Might be there is already a very big trouble in the institution and that may get burst. And a very fine experience of mine with a very senior banker in the life, asking him, sir, what's the life of a financial institution? He said, just 1 second. It may fall down in a second on loss of a trust. So I saw Silicon Valley Bank, which is a clear case for us to say yes. No theories, nothing. Not acting upon the prudent ALM and falling down in a stroke in a day. Now, many regulations, I won't be repeating this. My earlier friends have done this job, easy for me. Now, the question is, whom do I question? How do I question? The issue is data. Climate risk associated data. A bank's board, if a very large financial institution in the country, even the bank number 1 or 2 of us, now we are globally 4th largest bank also having India with HDFC and HDFC Limited merging. We are number 4 by the market capitalization of that bank. So, we too big now to fail. Have to have the data that on my asset side, how many assets have start changing their color from green to brown, then burning to little red and then going black with the heat generating upon them. I would have financed so many thermal plants of the metal industry, which are on my balance sheet, the big projects. But who is going to take care of having an exit from here, mitigating the risk on these, because now the burning of coal is banned because of the carbon it's creating, and I need to equip an injection of the fresh green capital into my enterprise, for which I need capital. So who will help it? Do I have hope from CFO? No. Do I have a hope from a board which is in the present shape? No. This is my 33-year experience basis. I feel now a need of injecting the cost and management accountant there at a level of the board. 1. I need a CSO, chief. This is a C-suite culture around the world. Chief Sustainability Officer, who is vetting the credit policy when it gets revised, who is conducting an audit of the organization on sustainability basis. Now, data, if is taken as excuse by the financial world or the BFSI for the climate, I say no, it's not true. Now, I belong to the generation when we started ALM in the banks. We started risk management in India, in the banks, by soiling our hands with 10 to 20%, maximum 30% data available for the risk management, and rest 70% we have to envision and extrapolate. And then working a model, keeping on revising it constantly with the data availability. Do I need to have a time to sleep more or wait for more? No chance. Because this aging under the climate risk of the assets financed or the liability which is a resource on the balance sheet brought from somewhere is okay up to now, but the next resources to me will be available if I convince the depositor or the investor that I am green. So, time is very ripe. Can we do this? Yes, we can do it. Data is getting challenged in the climate risk world in this subject because data is not reliable. Organizations are bringing certificates, making disclosures, making statements which later prove that they are not true. So, do I need to inject blockchain technology into that so that block by block data is built and later on one can't go back to revise the base data? Can I bring my human intelligence into artificial intelligence and make use of this in bringing a big database of a bank, a climate risk vetted data? Yes, I can do. Solutions. We need the research and development for conversion of physical data of the climate change into financial data. The loss of by flood, fire, earthquakes, other tornadoes is very well now can be quantified and it can be converted into financial data. Now, events are already there. Data mining is required. So, data is an excuse. We need to work on that. Now, this I want touch this TCFD gives you, many organizations give you that what type of the physical risks are there, how they can touch the financial sector, devolving financial risk on them, and all is not red. The financial risks bring many new opportunities also. The green business is opening on the finance shops. The green deposits, green investments, green lending is a new business. The green manufacturing is a new business. So, while I am doing investment banking, fundraising, the investor first board asked me, sir, the client you have brought, do you have some vitamin G, means element G, into their project, green. So, this is a framework which is now very much established and one can go through. Transitional risk, after the physical risks are there. And I have already said we need now two type of capitals in the financial world. One, the capital which has gone burnt now into the plastic, into the coal, into other carbonizing agents, and now the transitory capital required to convert this machine and equipment to the greener area. So, I have given a flow chart here which shows that how this physical risk and transition risk are boiling down through their roots in changing the culture of the risk and the development of risk to the market losses, credit losses, underwriting losses, operational risk in the financial sector. And they are now reflected in the financial statements. When I do FSA, a fancy word I say, financial statement analysis, stamped, chartered accountant. Do I see the change in cash flows there on account of the climate change, which is visible to me as a researcher in this field now? I have two eyes. Had I been having the eyes of finance only, I could have also have overlooked. So, my suggestion to ICMAI, my own experience of more than 3 decades, that the finance only executive is very difficult to pave the way for injecting anything pertaining to climate or the measurement of costing or the management of the or the calculation of the management cost of a wrong decision. The cost and management accountant has to take a role here. So, you have the finance which sees a snapshot of balance sheet as a static number as on a date, which is a camera shot of the numbers. But the CMA role is beyond that. He looks that, what is not there in this data, right? So this is the role. Now time has passed. We need not wait till the final regulations come, then only we will start implementing this thing. We are the country which has set up best practices. I feel very proud in standing here, and when I travel abroad US, I see many banks non-compliant to Basel so far, still today. In the current round of their bank failures, they have asked bank to go back and check your Basel compliances. We have crossed Basel III, and our regulator, being more conservative, have saved the environment of the risk in our country. So here also we have to say that if we cannot become net zero, let us become carbon neutral for the time being. That's our choice. Now, green, I am thankful to Gupta ji has covered this. I will be just going out of this, the green banking and the responsible banking. ESG, current thing, people are saying that data is not available. I am listing many pointers here, the data availability under E, S and G. So let us start building the small mud houses till the palace is built of the data. The data is not made available in a day. So rating has already set. Let us work in this direction. ICMAI has a stamp which is a seal of trust and authenticity. So the ESG ratings, if got vetted through the organizations like this, is a true score of ESG, which is a current challenge in the field of climate risk management. So RBI's main green points are already discussed. This is the vision setting up into this, that what we see, we don't reinvent the wheel. The climate risk we put under the umbrella of existing risks and bring the inputs of the climate risk into the data and work out a common solution for the risk management. These are the UN principles of starting the work. Align yourself, impact, and the targets are set. Clients and customers be sensitized, stakeholders be taken into consideration, governance in this standard, transparency and accountability will standard versions. I just don't read this, but the same thing is being practiced by many organizations which are credible. Here in this research we are into, and I am working on this for the past 3 years, and I am thankful to a council in the US, which Gupta ji also, we along with me, we support that, the Climate Risk and Finance Council in US, for which we have done the work, and now I have gone into the academics and the advisory on this. We are building up a situation where it is operationally being told to the financial institutions that it's possible to bring in the nodes of climate risk into the main risk data, and a common strategy of the risk management can be evolved, which is comprehensive, covering climate risk also. So the climate risk awareness, as it increases, we'll go on changing the scenarios, we'll go on changing the simulations, we'll go on adding the weights, but let's begin. So these are the steps which are today possible in the banking and the finance and financial services and the insurance sector. We are not in a position to say it's not possible. It's very much possible to work, because this has fallen on our head. And how it's possible? I'll just end up with quoting Dubai and Delhi, because we believe into these examples. Dubai is able to bring down their temperature, climate temperature down, and that's a desert. Delhi, in contrast, is not able to bring down, rather it is increasing here. So it's a matter of will. The levers are already indicated here, and I'm practically working on that, and be happy to be associated with anyone who wants to take these leads forward. So these are the models we are building of integrating this ESG into the main line. And with this, I come to the last screen of thank you. And with this, I have a one very strong and very humble request to the CMA, this body, which is our apex body of the country, that let this cost and management accounting seriously be got inducted into the organizations through the institutions, through the government by a statute. Otherwise, the CFO will not give way to CMA. This is my personal experience. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.